Since becoming the Homo sapiens we are today, we have built the pyramids of Giza, made art from marble, created math, music, poetry, and nurtured great leaders like Jesus, Gandhi, and Gautama Buddha. Since being able to see, we have marveled at the universe above us, creating astronomy, calendars, and science. But for the first time, just 55 years ago, we were able to witness man's entry into space. In the span of 50 years, less than one lifetime, space research proliferates and we are able to send out more humans, satellites, robots, and even create an international space station. But oftentimes, people will question this. How does space exploration affect life on Earth? Why should we, the taxpayers, pay for NASA's toys and gadgets, or in other words, even care? Space research yields benefits for all of us. Many of the technologies developed are used by us on a daily basis. Much of the technology we use in our daily lives is due to space exploration research. No, NASA did not invent Velcro and Tang, but they set the foundation for many more things. These items we use are called spin-off technologies, as they were originally developed for use in space, but were later modified to benefit our lives on land. The long list of nearly 1,800 technologies include LED lights, firefighting gear, baby food, golf clubs, sunglasses, memory foam, and more. But because of the common usage of these items, it is clear to see how space exploration influences our lives. But these spin-off technologies don't materialize themselves from space inventions. NASA engineers deliberately invest their own time to applying their inventions to real-world problems like technology, adding more value to their space programs. NASA's ventures to discover how to cultivate plants in space can apply to farming on Earth, and technologies to explore space, like miniaturization, will drive improvements on other space systems and services resulting in higher performance and lower cost. With their findings, and not just innovations, technology can become more advanced and leaders can innovate with the ideas and concepts that they learn about. As Americans, we love technology and for the most part, happily accept it. The plant research conducted on the International Space Station can tell us how to effectively harvest crops in extreme conditions, such as hot and cold temperatures, radiation, and strange lighting patterns. The computing software installed aboard spaceships is sometimes shared with other companies to advance our smartphones, computers, diagnostic machines, and even ovens. Space research clearly has practical implications for our everyday life and influences how we interact with the things around us. Through space explorations, nations come together and it is an instrument to creating peace. Despite political issues, leaders are able to cooperate on projects that can advance progress in their respective nations. During the Cold War, the infamous space race took place. During this time, the Soviet Union, or present-day Russia, competed with the United States to create the most advancements. However, in 1963, President Kennedy contemplated unity with the Soviets in space, or else it would result in immense duplications of research, construction, and expenditure. A few years later, his ideas materialized and the U.S. joined efforts with the USSR to produce the 1975 Apollo-Soyuz test project. Kennedy's initial idea was proposed as practical means to aid each country, but was crucial in establishing cooperation between the two nations. The opposing sides were able to work together and break down barriers that separated the two countries. Americans and Soviets had different impressions of each other, but after being exposed to each other's culture and sharing love for what they do, they could see each other as friends. When the crew members shook hands in the midst of the brutal Cold War, they symbolized progression towards peace. Space research wasn't effective only in diplomatic relations then, it is an ongoing process between many nations today. The International Space Station is an international grounds for astronauts and scientists that has been in orbit for over 18 years. It rooms 5 people at a time but has housed over 15 different nations. In the space station, scientists can perform experiments only viable in extraterrestrial conditions, study the Earth, and most importantly, engage in positive interaction with fellow scientists from around the globe. Though not all the scientists share missions, they mutually desire to extend the resulting knowledge for the betterment of humanity. Creators of the laws governing space station envisioned this goal of space station, which hospitalized grounds where people of all backgrounds may work together. The peace maintained on the space station also gives hope to the nations in providing that neutral grounds is feasible on Earth, so we may someday be able to coexist. Perhaps one of the most profound ways space exploration influences Earth is not in its ability to touch nations, but in its ability to touch human hearts. Space, above all, is a great component of inspiration. For millennia, humans pondered the same questions pertaining to space and the great beyond, but only had philosophical answers. On July 16, 1969, NASA launched Neil Armstrong, Michael Collins, and Edwin Buzz Aldrin into space. The whole world watched Neil Armstrong and his crew step onto the rocky surface of the moon. Some estimate the audience comprised of approximately 600 million people. or the largest ever for a single event and an amazing 1/5 of the world's population at the time. People huddled around televisions and watched in awe, inspired by the work the country had accomplished. After John F. Kennedy's assassination and in the midst of the brutal Cold War, the simple projection on television screens inspired and united the people. It told them that they were capable of winning the Cold War. Space exploration didn't only inspire us in that one event 50 years ago, it still influences the lives of countless individuals today. Because space exploration still offers countless questions and unending awe, people are continually drawn to the science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, or STEM fields. It inspires a passion and curiosity where people of all kinds are capable of pursuing it. Teachers, physicians, writers, and more can engage in this exploration of space. One reader told the Space Foundation that he was in high school when Neil Armstrong first orbited the Earth. He became his hero and now is finishing his PhD in astrophysics. The travels and work done in space is inspiring many people to join the STEM fields. Regardless of whether or not they are able to achieve their highest dreams, those who are passionate about the science are still able to pursue their fascinations. In conclusion, explorations in space impacts life on Earth profoundly. NASA's spin-off technologies have revolutionized everything from our household appliances to computer programming. Space also brings people together from across the world through cooperation and achieving common goals and creating international grounds. Lastly, space exploration has the power to inspire individuals so they may find a way to follow their dreams. Thank you.